Hello and welcome to the Overly Animated Podcast, where we take animation seriously. We provide fan-oriented and analytic discussions on a variety of animated shows, movies, and anime, currently featuring Steven Universe, Miraculous Ladybug, The New Powerpuff Girls, and Archer. I'm your main host, Delaney Hysen, and today I'm joined by Delaney Stovall.
Hello.
And Sam Quattro.
Hi.
Today, Delaney, Sam, and I will be discussing the latest episode of Steven Universe Barn Mates, aired tonight on Cartoon Network. We discuss Steven Universe every week here on the Overly Animated Podcast. You can check us out at overlyanimated.com or search for the Overly Animated Podcast on iTunes or your favorite podcatcher. We also do a feedback show every week the day after the episode airs. You still have time to get your voicemails, depending on when you're listening to it, questions and comments in. Go to overlyanimated.com/feedback for details on how you can leave us a voicemail. You can call 301-960-8674. Overlyanimated.com/feedback. I'm going to be recording that with Justin and Michelle tomorrow night at 8 Eastern. So get it in before then. So let's, one more note before we start. We are very aware that the next two episodes after this have aired on Cartoon Network France. So they've not really leaked or been like hacked. They just aired in France or before the United States. One would think that Cartoon Network would not do this, but they seem not competent enough to prevent that from happening. So like we've known for months that they were going to air. France said they were going to air the episodes now, and then just Cartoon Network US just still didn't air them. Like they just kept putting it off, and now here we are. So they're out there in English audio. You will not find spoilers for these episodes here or on anywhere on overlyanimated.com except for one article I wrote reviewing the episodes. If you want to discuss the spoilers, you can do so in the comments of that article on overlyanimated.com/category/blog. And that's the only, but yeah, we don't worry, no spoilers here. Full disclosure, I think Sam and I have seen the spoilers. Delaney has not. So
no, Delaney is pure.
So that's your reference point. So at the end, when we're predicting what's going to happen, we're just going to go to Delaney, and she's the only one who will predict anything because Sam and I already know.
Well, I was right last time. This is exciting.
Delaney also has the best prediction, so it's the good one.
Yeah, we can just verify if they're right or not.
We're not going to say yes or no. Yeah, no spoilers.
We'll just like nod in real life.
Yeah, we'll nod in real life, and then she won't be able
we
to
won't know. It'll be fine.
Yeah, okay.
So that nobody knows.
Let's talk about Barn Mates by Hillary and Lauren. I've been calling this a spiritual successor to Log Date, because this is the third time I've seen the episode, so my opinions will be more polished than normal. Delaney, you just saw Barn Mates? What did you think?
Okay, like Lapidot is so real. I wasn't expecting it to be so real. Yeah. Also, like Peridot, I just love how the show continues to capitalize. They're like, we know Peridot's awesome. We know at this point that everyone loves Peridot, and we're just going to continue to play off of this. Like, how did they know that we would just adore Peridot, and that this episode is just like the summation of everything that is there is to adore about Peridot? It's also very much the Avatar episode where they're trying to get Katara and
Runaway.
Yeah, the Runaway. So good. Literally made a card. Like, this is just everything about this stuff. And then, holy crap! At the end, we get. I mean, I had seen on Tumblr that they were like probably going to be more like I had seen like pictures.
Got spoiled by it, yeah.
I didn't really get spoiled. It wasn't like it was like okay, I'm not shocked that a Ruby crawled out of the thing, but I still gasped when it happened. For the record,
I did not gasp because I'd seen it happen twice before, but
No, I gasped. I didn't know.
Did you gasp the first time you saw it, Sam?
No, because I went on. No, because so I was working. When the spoilers happened.
Okay, the short stories you got spoiled before you saw it. Okay,
understood. Yeah, because you made me go to the Tumblr tag instead of giving me the link, Dylan.
I couldn't find the link. Okay, anyway. So you liked it, Delaney? Do you like it, or did you like it?
I liked it.
Okay, and you were feeling the Lapidot.
Like, everyone talks about Lapidot. I'm like, okay, it's fine. Like, they're cute. I love them both. It's all right. No, this episode, feeling the Lapidot. Like, just Peridot's dumb face makes me so happy.
I think I did make the screenshot for this podcast, like Peridot's smile at the end after.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, I need that.
That's exactly the dumb face I meant.
No, you can't get rid of Michael, sir. Yeah, okay, Sam. I'm expecting very polished thoughts since you've had time to sit on it.
Okay, Mr. Polished. So, okay, so you apparently have seen this episode 3 times. Why does your outline suck?
Because I just did it when I was watching it. I wasn't.
Oh my god!
I didn't do the outline 3 times. Okay, continue. What are your thoughts on Barmates?
All right. Well, I was more hype on it when I saw it the first time.
As with most things, you know.
Oh, okay. Thank you, John.
Not you specifically. I mean, like, I think in general we get less excited about things if we like watch them a bunch of times. But
yeah. Peridot is the best, and I'm in love with her. What is the G-rated word for what I want to call Lapis? It's not like she's a jerk. She is a jerk. LOL. So LOL, insinuating that I don't actually think she's genuinely one. She just acts like one.
Yes, yeah, that's like her shtick, definitely.
Yeah, that's her shtick. She's a jerk. But you know, she's cool. I don't know, like it was okay. I feel like
what did you think the first time you saw it? Were you like pretty hype?
I was, but then I saw the other episode, so
okay, no, we don't need to talk about that. But yeah,
I just said.
Okay, but the real question is, are you feeling the Lapidot?
Yeah, I am. I'm feeling it a lot.
2 out of 2 didn't I say? Far.
Hold on, I need to go back through our chat logs because I was.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I was quote unquote talking to Dylan. He was asleep, and I was just.
Oh yeah, you were live blogging it while I was asleep. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll go back while we continue.
Yeah. Okay. So we'll find the initial reaction to Lapidot. So yeah, I think this is a great episode. I think it's similar to Log Date. I think it's less polished than Log Date. Log Date was kind of at a consistent tone, was consistently funny. I think this episode is consistently funny, but has some like it's trying to do more things. I think that Log Date was incredible because it didn't need to do anything. It was just like there, and
Log Date was also different. Log Date was also like it was new and different. It was just this new like. Of course, it hit well the first time. Like we hadn't really had an episode like Log Date, and of course now we're having another episode with the tape recorder. And
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. So I may be too adjusted to it, but I feel like this episode potentially suffers from structure. I think that like this is like a structureless episode in disguise of a plot episode. Like that, I think stuff happening at the end kind of makes the episode lose some steam. But
it's kind of like an early episode played off like an episode right now. Like it's like honestly, if like the players were a little bit different, it's very similar to like an early Steven Universe episode.
It's like a early, very good Steven Universe episode, which there weren't.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I think this episode's great. I think that there's a few moments that this might even be the fourth. Well, there was one scene where Cartoon Network released early that I watched like 5 times, the scene where Peridot gives Lapis the card.
It's so cute.
And then
drawing.
like yeah, and just that's and then like you were just full of such useful information. Like I think it's like the funniest line. Like
that's a genuine compliment.
Good. Like I've heard that 10 times now. I still think it's really funny. And that's like highlight number 1. Highlight number 2 is Lapis getting super dark about being trapped under the water when Peridot gives her the lake is the funniest thing. That's like maybe my favorite new Lapis moment, and there's a lot because she's my favorite character. But yeah, we'll go through that, and that's gonna be a screenshot for the second one. But yeah, I think there's great moments here. Peridot's obviously great. I continue to question whether Peridot makes sense within the overall structure of the season, but I have no sense of like timing because they like now we just got 3 episodes in a row before we hadn't had any episodes for months. I don't know where we are within the context of the season. But Peridot's great. Peridot and Lapis are great, but I am not feeling the Lapidot. I mean, I think that it was like I understand. I like their dynamic this episode. I still am not shipping it though. Definitely not.
I like how it sounds.
Just the word Lapidot.
Yeah. Also, I found
for me, they don't even have to be together. Like they can hate each other, and I'm still about it. Like
I did not. I genuinely did not interpret the end of the episode as romantic. Like
oh no, no, it's not. But it's just it's hilarious.
I think a lot of people will. But something going. Yeah. I think this is Lapis. Some great Lapis stuff here. Peridot is great. He's great as usual. And I was a little bit worried how Lapis would play into the overall story, and her dynamic seems to really work here.
I found my initial reactions.
Okay, let's read Sam's initial reactions.
11:50 p.m. Wow. So I don't want to ship Lapidot, but I can see it happening. Peridot is so cute. I never thought she'd be in my top gens. She's so cute. Then, in all caps, Lapis broke the tape recorder. Yeah, I love Peridot. My rankings of gems minus Steven. 1 Pearl, 2 Peridot, 3 Amethyst, 4 Garnet, 5 Lapis. Amethyst so high because I feel like we never see her or give her a chance.
This part's less relevant, but yeah.
Well, you're less relevant.
Thank you.
Ouch, Rob.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of Amethyst recently, but this has been the Peridot story still. Even though this is the Lapis part, it's still the Peridot story.
The crystal gems.
So when are we going to see the new theme song with?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's the big question.
What we really are. Didn't you say that was from a new theme song?
No,
John?
I said that was absolutely not from a new theme song.
So. Oh my god! Maybe it was like Justin or something.
It was from the extended theme, which is that's not a new statement or a new like sound clip.
Where is this extended theme?
The one that aired at Comic-Con last year. That one. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really?
It's some distorted version of
oh, that's weird.
Yeah. Spoiler alert: the following 2 episodes that aired in France do not have a new theme song, but like maybe they just didn't insert it in French or whatever. Like maybe we'll see it on
freaking still
TV.
hope, guys.
Spoiler alert: the French is still the old theme song.
Well, yeah, it has like French
the one
text,
before it.
So no, it's not.
No, yeah, it is.
Oh, it is really.
Yeah,
I didn't even notice.
It's the only ukulele.
Are you sure? Okay, maybe I can't even tell. So that then it genuinely could be the new one in the US. That's interesting. Okay. So where do we want to go with Barnmaid? So we talked about the Lapidot. What do we think of Lapis's integration into the barn now that Peridot is here? I think that where do you think Delaney? Where do you think we ended the episode with their dynamic?
I mean, I think it's kind of like they're not friends. Like Lapis is still like, no. I'm just imagining like she's not going to like be outright completely hateful to Peridot, but they're gonna dance around each other. They're at, I guess, a ceasefire kind of. Like Lapis will put up with her. So
that's your interpretation of the end of the episode is you think they've like reached a ceasefire.
Not like, and it's not a really solid or a good one, but like enough that Lapis is willing to save her. Granted, if we're gonna be fair, she clearly cares more about Steven, and saving Peridot does in fact save Steven. So we'll just have to see. It's definitely like definitely a step in the right direction. I don't think like this isn't like the end all be all. Like this is definitely like just a very, very tiny step.
Interesting. Okay, because my major criticism with this entire segment of episodes is kind of this resolution. But like, I don't think we can fully comment on it right now. So, like, what do you Sam? What do you think? Like, specifically in this episode, the progress that gets made with Peridot and Lapis. Like, I don't know. From my perspective, at the end of this episode, Lapis is in a similar place. She just she doesn't need to not hate Peridot in order to like stand up for her. She can still kind of hate her.
Yeah, I think it's where she might give her a chance.
I don't. Okay, yeah, I could buy that. Like, I could buy that end of the episode, like being we're at a part where Lapis can give Peridot a chance. I don't know.
Because Steven said all that stuff, and I think Lapis might be like, for the sake of Steven, she's going to try.
Yeah.
Like, not necessarily try in an active sense of the word, but like not break things that Peridot gives her. Like just tone it down a little bit.
Yeah.
They're gonna be best friends soon enough.
No, they're not.
Yes, they will.
I don't think Lapis literally. I don't think she tolerates anyone other than Steven. Like,
yeah, Lapis is, but you know the type. They're like, ugh, but secretly they like love each other, and it's like, oh,
I don't know about that. But...
Oh my god, you had clearly never seen a television show.
I mean,
no,
Steven didn't finish that one episode of TV he watched, so
that was so funny. Oh my god, that was so good.
It was a really good line.
They'll have like a sibling relationship almost, like can't stand you, but we're stuck together.
It seems like that's where we're going.
Sadie and Lars relationship.
I do not love that resolution to same old world. I think that somewhat contradicts what we see in that episode, but I don't know. We'll discuss this more fully in future weeks. Speaking of that, one thing I really liked about this episode is Lapis's reaction to Steven versus Peridot. which could seem overdone, but she's just so genuinely happy. Like whenever Steven calls her, when she's sitting on top of the water tower and Peridot's calling and she's ignoring her, and then Steven calls, she's like, "Yes, Steven." Yeah, it's like so great.
It's so good.
Just give Peridot a chance.
But it's like
Peridot's trying so hard.
This isn't even Peridot specifically. This is Steven versus literally everyone else, though, for Lapis.
Well, it's kind of interesting that they're. I mean, obviously you love Lapis, and like Lapis, I don't dislike her. She's fine. I do like her, but like she really isn't that sympathetic in this episode, which is, I think it's an interesting light to like paint her in this episode, because you feel so much for Peridot. So it'll be interesting to how we go from here, like with their dynamic, because like she really isn't like. Obviously, I feel bad. Lapis has been through a lot. I feel bad for her, but she really isn't sympathetic in this episode. So it's like, how are we going to continue with Lapis?
So
Lapis is like,
yeah. If she's gonna be,
the fandom adores her. Like she is literally like everyone adores Lapis.
Yeah.
And then if we're gonna keep playing her this way, it'll be interesting to see what happens.
So I think that this episode's intent is to portray Lapis in a sympathetic light. I think that both of the Lapis and Peridot and everyone, this is just supposed to be like a fun episode. Like we're not supposed to hate anyone. I think Lapis is supposed to be like seen as this episode gives us several blatant times when we're justifying why she's acting like that. Peridot, she explains herself. Then when she's talking about being underwater, like that's funny, but she's also explaining herself again. Like it happens a lot. And I do think that's the episode's intent. That's how I interpreted it. I know a lot of people have not been interpreting like that. I think the problem is that Peridot.
Well, there's a difference in interpretation. There's also in the execution. Like.
So that's true.
There can be some disconnect there.
I think that at the very least they have the stuff there. I think from my interpretation is the problem is Peridot. Peridot's like too lovable. I think that people are seeing Peridot being treated badly. They're gonna like not like anyone who's doing that. I genuinely think that the show is somewhat miscalculated in that Peridot has like been like way better of a character than they probably thought. I've kind of said this the previous 2 weeks. Like I think it's like genuinely a problem that Peridot steals the show every episode because it doesn't give any of the other characters time to
Peridot's too good.
No, like I think I'm convinced at this point that the show did it like the writers didn't know that this would happen. So
she's the dark horse.
Obviously, like they knew Peridot's gonna be a great character. They give her all these lines. Like you give Peridot the line at the end of this episode. They want to wipe my precious grin off the face of this planet. Like that's a character that that like you know this is gonna be lovable and stuff. But I think the intent is for Lapis to be sympathetic. But I've certainly seen, especially a lot of males, not find her that way. Sam, what's your interpretation of Lapis's how Lapis comes off in this episode?
Yes, I mean, like, okay, so my sympathies lie more with Peridot because I can relate to like feeling like you keep trying and people just don't give you a chance, and it's like you can't win no matter what. But like, I guess in retrospect, yes, I sympathize with Lapis and her struggles because like. I don't know. Imagine being in a room with somebody who you hate and being forced to try to accept that they are a changed person and that I don't know, like what's in the past is in the past, and like that isn't so easy to overcome, at least not in one day. I don't know, so I can sympathize with that, and I can understand why she's acting the way that she's acting.
I think it's different to think through something and arrive at the conclusion.
Yeah,
that,
like
you can still have an immediate emotional reaction, like I don't like how she's behaving. That can still be a thing, but in retrospect, I understand. That I think that's what Delaney's saying.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, I think honestly, and it has to do with what you said, Dylan, about her like. Peridot is, I mean, I adore Peridot. She's just perfect. And I do think she's too lovable. Like, I don't think this episode succeeds in making Lapis sympathetic. Like, I love Lapis, and I completely understand where she's going from. But watching the episode, I'm like, Lapis, chill out. Even though, of course, and they're also kind of making light of, like, things she's been through, which is a little weird, like, for Steven and Peridot to do, like, literally the pool thing. Like, come on. And even you said it was funny, but it's like, oh my god, Lapis, like, this was horrible. What happened to you?
Yeah, I didn't really take that as being funny. I thought that was kind of not funny.
I mean, it is, they play it up funny, because, like, the way they do her face is ridiculous. But, like, it's just weird, like, I do think their intent was for you to, like, and I do feel bad for Lapis, but it's not because the episode made me feel bad for Lapis, it's because I feel bad for Lapis, as, like, a person who's been watching the show and knows what happened. But, like, the episode, it's like, Lapis, why are you being so horrible to Peridot? Right, and it's kind of one of those irritating things they do, like, that sometimes you're watching a TV show, and let's say, for example, like, this is, I think, a good example of, like, difference here is that when you're watching an episode, let's say it's a guy and a girl, and the girl is not giving the guy a chance, and the show does all this stuff to make you actually feel bad for the guy, and you just want to, like, scream. But that's honestly kind of what's going on here. Like, granted, Peridot is not nearly as annoying. You just made me feel bad
about my life.
Granted, but, like, I mean, you don't, like,
okay,
Peridot...
a lot of stuff here. So one, we talked about this a little bit last week, but there's the larger question of, is the show not handling Lapis's quote unquote abuse from earlier in the season in an appropriate light? And I think that's certainly something that we can talk about in more depth, probably in the feedback show. So someone sent a voicemail on that. But, like, it's a tough one because the show kind of talks about it last episode, then kind of dismisses a little bit, and it makes light of it here. So I think that's like a reasonable interpretation. I don't think this episode's intent is to make Lapis sympathetic. I don't think Hillary and Lauren particularly care. But it's just, she's also just not supposed to be unsympathetic. I think that. So here's my problem. I've mainly seen reaction to this episode through CO, with the sexist males, and seeing at least half of them just calling Lapis B, and I just like, it's the typical male reaction of instantly disliking a female character for not being happy all the time, which I hate, which is maybe my least favorite thing in the entire world.
You need to hang out with new people.
Well, you need
on the internet.
Right. I need to look different places for my reaction. Tumblr would have different problems that would infuriate me, so there's nowhere to go. But yeah, so, like, that's. I can understand why Lapis might not be seen sympathetically here, but at the same, like, I don't know. I don't think we'll see what other people's reactions are. I'm interested to see a larger reaction. But like I'm saying, I don't think that's a failure of the episode, because I don't think it matters, like, whether you like Lapis or not here. I don't think that's the intent.
Maybe I just feel like I don't really know Lapis that much.
Yeah, I think time will tell. Like, I keep saying this every episode because we talk about something, but I'm like, oh, we don't really know. Again, everyone loves Lapis, but we literally don't know anything about Lapis.
Right,
like,
yeah.
I do think that's
been promoted to this goddess status in the fandom, but then it's like, we literally don't know anything about her. And of course we get an episode like this and she's like kind of mean, and we're like, oh, Lapis, how can you be that? Like, I'd be like that too. I got trapped with Jasper, I gotta deal with crazy Peridot, send him his stupid cards. Like,
yeah, I would probably react like that as well. I don't know, like, I'll probably like her more further down the line, but right now it's like, you're
they put her in a weird position.
Well, yeah, I agree. It's interesting. We haven't seen, this is only our 5th or so Lapis episode. I think
people forget that, the big thing. People forget that, like, we literally don't know Lapis, like, at all.
I mean, it's like, it's just gonna be different for different people. It's not like that means that you have to not love her, like, whatever.
No, but I mean is people, like, especially given how hiatuses work in this fandom, tend to forget, like, especially with fan works and things, that, like, people start to impose ideas and characteristics on characters that they might not necessarily have, but it's become fanon or whatever, and then we start to see things that are contrary to that, and then people freak out. Like, we don't know Lapis that well. We need to kind of, like, give her some time.
Yeah, my point, I guess my counterpoint would be, like, this is, I don't know, I think this episode's very indicative of Lapis. I think that, like, Lapis being, like, not.
Well, no, that's the thing. We have to accept this too. Like, if she's going to be like this, yep, this is, and we have to love her for how she is.
Lapis, I think this is Lapis. She's always been kind of this solemn, like, not super happy kind of jerkish character, and that's why I love her. And, like, that's the way she was in her first episode. She's never been happy, and, like, you love her because she's fighting through the strife. And I think it's very consistent with her character.
We need to go on a life-changing field trip. I guess that was last episode, wasn't it? Life-changing field trip with Lapis. Some character building exercise.
That was last episode. But yeah, last episode is great for Lapis, and I don't know. As should be obvious, I'm all in on Lapis, and I thought this was great, and I thought last episode was great. Let's quickly go through we didn't even hit on all the jokes from the episode, and let's go through that line. And this should be another voicemail topic. Send your voicemails in on the portrayal of Lapis, although again, I don't think it's necessarily the point of the episode. Peridot just in the beginning of this episode just goes off on incredible sympathetic tangents. I question whether Peridot's character is at a place where she can say things like my newfound look and capacity for friendship, and say things
I thought
like
that was really funny.
it's great.
She's so
I'm
great.
gonna start using that now. My newfound capacity for friendship.
I mean, but only if you go through complete 180 on your character, like Peridot does.
What?
Okay,
so Dylan always says things that I do are in character, and I don't know how to feel about it.
You can't
does
just
that mean-
you can't
Well,
just
at least you're a consistent person. I
can't
mean,
just-
I don't know.
You can't just throw out one of my great recurring jokes and like anyway, let's continue.
Oh my god. Okay, whatever.
And then like Lapis is right there when she's saying all this. I thought that was interesting.
Oh,
Yeah,
that was
that's
oh
funny.
my god, so good.
Lapis is not feeling it, and if I was in Lapis' situation, I would not be feeling it either. Like, who is this
Peridot is
munchkin?
so
Like,
ridiculous.
what
Just
is
call her
she?
Munchkin?
Yes, because she is.
I think it's because of the power for episode. We have
Saw
to
it on
cover.
the TV show. I didn't see how it ended, but I'm sure it'll work out great. Dividing line.
Oh, that never works out good, Steven.
That
was
was
great.
so good.
Peridot says, "I like the cut of your gem, Stephen Quartz."
Like,
Oh,
why
that was
does she just say such weird stuff?
She does, yeah.
That's why she's so endearing.
I love her.
Lapis says she's the one that dragged me back to Earth. I needed an informant. I didn't. Things didn't work out for either of us. I'm different. It's different now. I'm different. Peridot talking about how Yellow Diamond's gonna send a fleet now. I'm kind of a big deal, a big anti-homeworld deal, which I think is interesting.
That was cracking me up. Also,
Dude.
it's kind of funny. He's kind of saying all this stuff, and I was like, okay, Peridot, calm down. But then no, the whatever
But then the
comes
ship
for
comes
her,
at
and
the
I was
end,
like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
that was pretty
Interesting.
good.
I want her to understand. Says, and then Steven's like, "Oh," and it's like, "Oh yeah."
Like everyone's watching. Oh,
Making the card show her the sweet version of Peridot. It's you and Lapis holding hands, which
It was really cute.
yeah. Is Steven
I like
shipping
the
it? Is that what that is?
Yes.
I don't know
also,
about
I
that.
enjoyed like the comments on his art. Like, you don't draw noses, and he's like, yeah, it's kind of my style right now.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like if there was like a Lapidot form these days, that would be the banner.
that would be the banner. Yeah, but
Yeah.
there's no forums on the internet anymore. We're past
No,
that.
there aren't, unfortunately.
The internet has degraded into a place where stratified reactions are posted on anonymous places. So instead of a cohesive discussion forum, there's still nerds for that.
Well, discussion forums can still be anonymous to some degree.
I guess, but whatever. Don't ruin my rant. Anyway, no, yeah, no.
Like I pretended I was 13 when I was really 12.
You're such a
You're such a rebel, Sam.
rebel, yeah.
Wow.
Nose
Yep.
is part of my style right now. Is not having fingers also part of your style? No, I'm just bad at drawing hands. And
Me too.
Same.
then I think of like literally everyone on Tumblr who's like talking about who reblogs art, and it's like, how did you do that? Like stuff like that.
I mean,
Do you think Steven has a Tumblr?
It's hard.
Steven
Probably.
definitely has a Tumblr, yeah. Steven calling Lapis, yeah, Peridot reading or Lapis reading the card. You were just full of such useful information. That was a sincere compliment.
Kills me.
And then Peridot's like, it took over an hour to compose it. It was
That was
like,
so good.
Dylan, Peridot reminds me of you.
yeah.
Peridot is just-
in terms of the social awkwardness. Yeah, I can feel that.
Not I don't like being like really like logical and being like,
Yeah, no,
how could this fail? It like took
Yeah.
me an hour.
I relate to Peridot definitely on the logical level for sure. Lapis Lazulis are partial to water and flying. I find that kind of dumb. I don't know. Like, why is this what Lapis Lazulis are known for? Just because, like, that's what we know. That's what, like, we see them as. Like,
Isn't it like
Seems legit.
lapis lazulis like in like literal like those gems in natural water?
I don't think
isn't
she's
that like-
talking about the gems.
I know that, Dylan. I'm just saying in
I
real
guess
life,
so. I don't have the information.
it's not
on the
good
gem.
to put them.
Well, I
in
mean,
water.
all of the gems are kind of two-dimensional except for crystal gems. So I mean, it makes sense. I mean, it's stupid because that's all we know Lapis for. But again, we don't really know that much about Lapis.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's maybe a joke on that. I don't know. Anyway, Lapis's water blindfolds over her eyes when Steven's
That
walking
was
her down.
funny.
Actually, yes, but it's very blurry. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Well, so like I love how they addressed it because I saw it and was like, she can totally see,
Yeah.
and then they just went with it. I was like, yes.
That's definitely an instance where you like they like drew the with the visual first, and then it's like, can she see through that? Oh, that's gonna be the dialogue. Like that's what that feels like, and it worked. It was great. It's a smaller than average lake. Water's your thing.
Wouldn't you call that a pond?
Yeah, I
Or
don't
like
know.
or like a puddle?
Peridot.
And then Lapis says, it was an endless, crushing darkness, wet and bleak and suffocating. Water was the tombs I lived in for those months. Kind of taking a break from water, right?
I didn't think that was funny. I thought that was
I thought that was
kind of sad.
It was.
They played
yeah.
it funny. That was the
was
thing.
I
definitely
didn't feel like
intended-
it was played funny, but that's just me.
It was definitely
Well, the-
intended to be funny for sure, and I thought it was like
Shrug.
one
The
of
shot on her face was ridiculous.
It was,
so
yeah, which is going to be the screenshot for the feedback. It was first or second funniest for me, but I can see how that would be sad because like I said, maybe they're downplaying her experiences too much, but it's definitely intended.
also, I don't think we know how to read Lapis sometimes. Like she's so serious, but then some like it's kind of like Peridot originally would say things, and she wasn't trying to be funny, but Peridot's hilarious. I think Lapis might be in the same boat.
Right, yeah. It's not clear in this instance whether Lapis is trying to be funny with what she's saying. I don't think they're thinking about that when they make this joke. I think they're just trying to make it funny for us. My read would be that, yes, Lapis is intentionally being not necessarily funny, but like derisive towards Peridot with her read of that. So I think it's like intentional.
Like Lapis is going to be sarcasm, Jim. Like
yeah, like I think this is just a sarcastic response from Lapis. Yeah. And I don't think she necessarily knows that sarcasm is funny or whatever. Like, I don't think we've seen Lapis like. Oh, she's laughed like once in the entire show. So
No problem.
Well, she's gonna be like the mean kind of sarcasm that you're gonna laugh at sometimes, but it's also just mean. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't think this was mean. Like, this is. I think this was.
well, I don't mean this specifically. I mean, I think in general, Lapis, like, it's gonna be sarcasm that sometimes it's funny, sometimes it's just gonna be mean. It's just gonna be like, geez, Lapis.
Gonna give her a gift. Give her something you like. Camp Binding Hearts DVD. Which season? 5. Trash. I know. It was great.
That was pretty
Shrug. I want to know more about this camp. I want to know more about it.
How
We
many
need more
seasons?
Camp Binding Hearts development.
Yeah.
Gives her the present. We finally see the clip that Cartoon Network inexplicably aired in January for 2 seconds. The ribbon's even blue. I got your number, says Peridot. That was weird. That
I
line.
didn't get
That
it.
was
but-
just incredible.
It reminded me of that Mad TV sketch that was just like the guy in the movie theater like harassing this girl about getting her number.
Yeah, that's.
It was, I don't know. I didn't really like. I didn't.
I think Peridot just sits in front of the television and like just like absorbs things that people say
that's what I
and
thought.
decides to say them. She's
Yeah, I
like
could
a
see it.
toddler. She just like repeats what she hears. It's good stuff.
Lapis crushes it, and Peridot says, "What, were you trapped in a tape recorder too?"
That was ridiculous.
Which is Peridot is literally everyone is literally like the non-social justicey people being exasperated by trigger warnings in that moment, which is like literally all that is, which is great. Peridot's speech were the same, except you don't have to be alone. And then Lapis is like, "I want you to leave," and Peridot's like, "Okay," which is like totally the best response in that situation.
Okay, bye.
Yeah. Gotta give her a chance, says Steven. Then the roaming eye comes, homeworld tracking vessel. It like finds them through the hole that Peridot like says like last
Peridot.
2 episodes ago that she has to repair, or last episode.
That was really great.
Yeah.
That was like, it was so funny
It's like, yes.
because they go all around the building and then
Yeah, there's a giant hole. Remember that? Yeah. They're going to wipe my precious grin off the face of this planet, she says. Yeah. And then Lapis like flicks it and then swats it. And it's like, yeah, Lapis is pretty powerful.
She is Katara.
like she's like ridiculous.
I think she's very similar to Katara. I think Katara also has a similar
And also,
you think they-
like she just does it so casually. It's like I'm kind of scared of Lapis, to be honest.
I was thinking about that. And I was like, they kind of like. I don't know. They're like, I don't know. My feelings, like, I was just like,
Peridot, are you okay?
No, just like the concept of just like a bending water.
Okay, I don't think manipulating water is necessarily like lifting from Avatar. Anyway, Peridot, are you okay? Smile, her smile things, and then
Aww.
Lapis is like blushing, which as we might need to point out every time we see blushes in the show has blushes all the time. It doesn't mean it's romantic. Like
Dylan didn't. Okay, so remember when Korra was still airing and what was it? There was the blush thing. We called it like behind the blush car cover.
I somewhat remember that.
And then I wrote like an essay about it.
Is this like
Blushes
season 1?
happen. No, this was for season.
Oh, this was the
before.
Korosami blush. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So-
blushes are different in Korra because that was intended. That was like obviously intended.
Are you saying that
literally-
they
there's
did not
literally, like, two.
intend to blush?
I think that it's specific to the show, and in the show, people blush like literally all the time. And
Oh yeah,
we talked
it
about
is an
before.
anime, isn't it?
Yeah, it's an anime, as we'll see next episode. So it's a hint. And then we see this ruby with a gem in its eye, come out of the thing.
Yeah.
Pirate.
Pirate ruby.
Pirate.
Yeah. There you go. So in my review, since I've had time to sit on it, I give this episode a 9.2 out of 10. We don't need to.
Are we
No, we don't
doing
need.
that?
No, we don't need to. I just
Oh
had
my
time.
god, we haven't done that in like
It was because it was an
years.
article, but you guys liked it. We'll talk about it more specifically. Send us your feedback at overlyanimated.com/feedback. Let us know what you thought of the episode, some of the topics we talked about here, and you could also email us or other stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Closing thoughts on Barnmates.
Good stuff.
Oh well,
Paradox.
quickly, Delaney, what's gonna happen with the ruby?
Oh God. I don't. How am I supposed to?
Well, why is it
Well-
there? What is it doing?
Okay, why is it there? That's a really good question. Okay, so we know rubies are like bodyguard like gems. Like that's why like ruby's a thing. So Ruby's gonna like I think there's someone else in the ship. I don't think it's just Ruby because she's a bodyguard. Like I think like she has to be assigned to someone. And then also I'm not really sure why they sent her. I mean, if she's just muscle, I mean maybe she's come to like crush Peridot, though I kind of doubt like something weird is it's gonna be something really weird.
Okay.
I don't know what. It's not gonna be like it's gonna go fine, I guess. Like it's just gonna be super weird.
That's too safe of a prediction because the show is. Just
Yeah, you need to get
constant
more
weirdness.
specific.
I don't know. I don't literally she just came out of the thing. Like
Yeah, we didn't get.
I mean, I'm not expecting like another Sapphire. I mean, there could be. I don't know, but I'm assuming Ruby. There's gonna be another one in there. I don't know if it's gonna be another Ruby or what, but there's someone else.
Just because there's a
Insane.
ruby doesn't mean there's a sapphire. That's like the whole point of there.
That's what I said. I
Ruby's,
said I don't
like,
think it.
the
I
common-
literally just said it's not a Sapphire, Dylan. Were you not listening to me when I was talking? You jerk.
You jerk.
I was just trying to like get away from that like assumption someone might make. I wasn't making that assumption. There's someone else in
Are
there.
you saying there's gonna be
Ruby's-
a garnet in there? Is that what you're saying?
What?
No.
Okay.
Why
Can
would
you
there be a
imagine if
garnet
there was another
there?
garnet?
There can't
we
be another
should-
garnet. That's not how this
There
works.
could.
There could be
There
another
might
garnet.
be. There might be.
Well,
like
they
another
could,
sapphire.
but like it's not going to be another garnet. It's not going to be like garnet. God, like
But like another like. Okay, did you know that rubies and sapphires in IRL they are actually the same gem, just different colors?
In IRL.
yes,
Yes.
I did know that. It's all emerald, and all that
I
junk
did
part.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of bothering me that it's not the same. It's alternate
Okay.
Earth theory, I guess.
Whatever. Yeah. Send us your questions on alternate theory. By the way, note, don't send us spoilers in your voicemails or anything like that. All right. I'm Dylan Hysen, Delaney Stovall, Sam Quattro. Let us know what you thought. Comments on YouTube video, on the article on overlyanimated.com. You can leave comments there, or Tumblr asks. You can support us on patreon.com/overlyanimated. Thank you very much to our patrons, Shayna, Mitch Cordell, Beatrice, Nate, Andy, Jamie, Rachel, John, Ryan, and Catherine, aka Hannah, Fear, Michigan, C Beach, Nathan, Fillion, Buzz Lightyear, Mailman, Rachel Rose, Dinah Brown, Brian, and Cook Cat. We'll be back. I'll be back with Justin and Michelle to get their take on the episode and voicemails tomorrow night. Delaney and I podcasting on a very important episode of Ladybug this weekend, so you want to check that out. And we'll be back next week to discuss Hit the Diamonds for Steven Universe. Thanks for listening, guys. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.